Coxeter Groups, Lecture 1, Basic Definitions and Examples. So this is a reading course at advanced or PhD level, and we will be following very closely the book of Björner and Brenty, which is called Combinatorics of Coxeter Groups. So let's start with basic definitions. We start by defining what a Coxeter matrix is. So let S be a set. A Coxeter matrix is a function M with two arguments. Both arguments are elements in S, and the set of values for this function is the union of the set of all positive integers with the sign infinity. So the allowed values are 1, 2, 3, and so on, and infinity. And such a function should satisfy the following two conditions. First of all, it should be symmetric. That is, the value m at s, t should be equal to the value of m at t, s for all s and t in our set S. And the value of m at the point s, t is equal to 1 if and only if s is equal to t. So the diagonal values are 1, and these are the only values which are equal to 1. So the values of such a function can be represented by a matrix whose rows and columns are indexed by S. And our two conditions say that the matrix should be symmetric and that the diagonal elements should be equal to 1, and only the diagonal elements should be equal to 1. Here is an example of a Coxeter matrix on a 3-element set, and that's a matrix 1 to 3, 2, 1, infinity, 3, infinity, 1. So it is symmetric. The diagonal consists of 1s, and the off-diagonal consists of elements which are different from 1. Each Coxeter matrix can be represented by a Coxeter graph. So let M be a Coxeter matrix on a set S. The corresponding Coxeter graph, or also called Coxeter diagram, is defined as a simple labeled unoriented graph gamma, whose set of vertices is just S, our original set on which our Coxeter matrix is defined, and in which two different vertices S and T are connected by an edge, if and only if the value of the function M at the pair S, t is greater than 2. And also such an edge is labeled by the value ms, t if and only if this value is strictly greater than 3. So this condition implies in particular that if we have an unlabeled edge in our Coxeter graph, it corresponds precisely to the value ms, t equal to 3. So for example, on the previous slide we had this matrix 1 to 3, 2, 1, infinity, 3, infinity, 1 over the set with 3 elements which we call S1, S2, and S3. So this corresponds to the graph with 3 vertices S1, S2, and S3. There is no edge between S1 and S2 because the corresponding value is 2. There is an unlabeled edge between S1 and S3 because the corresponding value is 3. And there is an edge labeled by infinity between S2 and S3. So given a Coxeter matrix, or equivalently a Coxeter graph, we can define the corresponding Coxeter group. So let M be a Coxeter matrix on some set S. Definition: the corresponding Coxeter group W is the group given by the following presentation. The generators are the elements of our set S. And the relations are as follows. For any pair of elements S, t, they can coincide. In S, we have the relation st to the power mst is equal to the identity whenever the value m at S, t is strictly less than infinity. And we always denote the identity element of a group by E. So for example, we had that matrix on the first slide, 1 to 3 to 1, infinity, 3, infinity, 1. That was a matrix over a 3-element set, S1, S2, and S3. And the corresponding Coxeter group is the group which is defined as follows. So the generators are S1, S2, and S3. And the relations are s1 squared is equal to s2 squared is equal to s3 squared is equal to the identity. Then s1 s2 to the power 2 is the identity, that's this 2. And s1 s3 to the power 3 is the identity, that's this 3. And the first relations corresponds to ones on the diagonal. So let's make some elementary observations and introduce some terminology. The elements of S are called Coxeter generators of our Coxter group W. All these generators are involutions in the group, that is, S squared is equal to the identity for any S in S, and this is because we require that the value of M at S, S is equal to 1. The pair W, S is called the Coxeter system, and it's called irreducible if its Coxeter graph is connected. And the cardinality of S is called the rank of this system. And during these lectures, we will mostly work with Coxeter groups of finite rank. So we assume that S is finite normally. And the final observation is, since all Coxeter generators are involutions, if S and T are different generators and the value of M at S, T is finite, then the relation, the original Coxeter relation st to the power mst is equal to the identity, can be equivalently rewritten as the relation st, and so on, and that's a word whose length is the value of m at the pair s, t. So this word should be equal to the word ts, and so on, of the same lengths. Let's now go through some examples. The first example, let's take as the set of generators just one element. So let capital S be a singleton set with an element little s. Then we have a unique Coxeter matrix over this set, which just consists of 1. The corresponding Coxeter graph has one vertex and no edges. And the corresponding Coxeter group is generated by one element S, which is an involution. So S to the power 2 is equal to the identity. So this group consists of two elements, the identity and S, and it is isomorphic to the cyclic group of order 2. It's very interesting to note that it is also isomorphic to the symmetric group S2 on the two-element set. Second example. Let S be a set with two elements, S and T, and let the value of M at the pair ST to be M, and this M is at least 2, but is finite. Then the corresponding Coxeter matrix is just 1M and 1, and the corresponding Coxeter graph is one of the following three graphs. We have S and T as vertices and no edges if M is equal to 2. We have an unlabeled edge between S and T if M is equal to 3, and we have an edge labeled by M if this M is strictly greater than 3. So the corresponding Coxeter group is the dihedral group D2 times M of all linear symmetries of the regular M-gon inscribed into a unit circle in the plane. So the case M is equal to 2 requires some additional restrictions, because then the M-gon is a 2-gon, which is not a two-dimensional picture. So that needs to be defined separately, but that's an easy case to consider. Let's note that in this case, the cardinality of the Coxeter group of the dihedral group D2 times M is 2M. Another example. Let again consider the generating set with two elements, but now consider the case when the value of the Coxeter function at this pair S, T is infinity. So the corresponding Coxeter matrix is 1, infinity, infinity, 1, and the corresponding Coxeter graph has two vertices S and T, one edge, but it is labeled by infinity. So the corresponding Coxeter group is the infinite dihedral group D infinity, which is usually defined by its presentation. So we have two generators, S and T, and the only relations are that the generators are involutions. There is no relation for the product ST because the corresponding value is infinity. And the usual realization of this group is the group of all permutations of, let's say, real numbers, which are generated by the following two permutations. Change of sign, so we map the real number x to minus x, or the shifted change of sign, where we map a real number x to minus x plus 1 minus 1. So if we open the brackets, we get minus x minus 2. Both these permutations are involutions, so changing sign twice gives the identity map, and the map x goes to minus x minus 2. If we do it twice, we get the identity map. And together they generate exactly a copy of the infinite dihedral group. Here's yet another example. Consider now the set S, which consists of S1, S2, and so on, Sn minus 1, and the corresponding Coxeter matrix. We have 1 on the diagonal. We have 3 on the diagonal just above the main diagonal and just below the main diagonal, and all other elements are equal to 2. So the corresponding Coxeter graph is the following. We have S1 connected by an unlabeled edge with S2, S2 is connected to S3, and so on, all the way up to Sn minus 1. And then the corresponding Coxeter group is the symmetric group Sn of all permutations of the set 1, 2, and so on n, where Si, the generator Si in our Coxeter group, corresponds to the simple transposition which swaps I and I plus 1. And here is our fifth example. Let S be the set S0, S1, S2, and so on Sn minus 1, and consider the following Coxeter matrix. 1 on the main diagonal, then the element 1, 2 is 4, the element 2, 1 is 4. And in the rest of the diagonals just above and just below the main diagonal we have 3. And all other elements are 2. So we have the following Coxeter graph. It is very similar to the graph on the previous slide, but the only difference that for the edge between the vertices S0 and S1, this edge is labeled by 4, that's this value. The corresponding Coxeter group is the group of all signed permutations on the set 1, 2, and so on n, so we permute elements and we are allowed to introduce signs. Where Si corresponds to the simple transposition of I and I plus 1, if I is strictly greater than 0, and S0 corresponds to changes the sign of the leftmost element. We get the group of signed permutations, and that's a Coxeter group for this Coxeter graph. Some additional problems and questions at the end. Problem question 1. Describe the Coxeter group for the Coxeter graph that has no edges. Problem question 2. Prove with all details that the relation in the Coxeter group st to the power mst is equal to the identity is equivalent to st and so on is equal to tsts and so on, where on both sides we have words with lengths mst. So that's if this value mst is finite. Problem question 3. Find a geometric realization for the infinite dihedral group. Problem question 4. Prove with all details that the symmetric group is a Coxeter group. And problem question 5. Prove with all details that the group of all signed permutations is a Coxeter group. Thank you very much and see you next time.